How's everybody doing? Welcome to the MLC. It stands for the Mr. Limber channel. This is your host and your brother, Mr. Limber. You guys know I was sick, but I'm doing better. I'm out of the hospital. I cleared out my lungs. The toxins are all gone from the black mold. For those of you who watch my video, 6 mistakes that men make when dealing with foreign women, you knew that I explained that I was infected by some black mold. But I'm doing better. I'm feeling stronger. And then most importantly, I'm back. And I miss you all. So let's do this, man. Let's keep the brotherhood moving. For those of you who emailed me, thank you for the emails. I will reply to your questions as soon as I can. If I did not, I probably missed it. I literally get about 50 emails or more per day. So when I wake up in the morning, I have a lot of emails there, and if it's on my second, third, or fourth page, then I never get around to it. For those of you who comment and I did not reply, try emailing me. If everything fails, PayPal me. Today's topic, options. Yeah, man. I'm going to have to break this down. The Limber style. I keep hearing that women have so many options. Men are telling me every day, women are so lucky they have options. Many guys even went to my video called Women Are Only Loyal for 2 Reasons. Women are only loyal for 2 reasons. And one of the 2 reasons I explained was the lack of options for that woman. And many brothers seem to not get this yet, even so-called red pill men. Now, I'm not saying they're not red pill. As you know, there are different gradients, different shades of the color spectrum when it comes to the color red. Some men are getting brighter and a hot red, and some men are still dull and kind of pink. And that's not an insult because we're all growing, right? This is why we formed the brotherhood. Some men don't understand that women don't always have options. Many men are saying that women always have options, even if this is not true. Men have gotten into their heads that men don't have all the options in the world, but women have all the options in the world. Is this true? Can we prove this? Is it evident in our daily lives? Can we see this happening as current event? Can we just look around us and see this? All these options that women have. Well, the best way to do it is to make it a lesson, like I always do over here. Let's get into the science. Let's get into the metaphysics. Let's combine it together and get a proper understanding of the nature of the genders, the sexes, what they truly seek for. And then maybe we can have a better understanding on the options that they have or don't have. Throughout the long history of humankind, the brain has evolved. Others may say it was designed that way by the divine himself, the one who holds the cosmos in his hands. Throughout the long history of the planet, the universe, our DNAs in our brains have been programmed to seek for something between the sexes. We seek for something that appears to complete us. We seek for something that the other sex lacks. Something that complements us. Maybe complete is the wrong word, but something that complements us. Then we invented roles because we studied nature. But those who are against nature says there are no such thing as roles. And though we are red pill men, we don't realize that we still have fragments of feminism in our brains that we must purge ourselves of. Because our DNA is crying loud. Because the male seeks something from the female. And the female seeks something from the male. And those two things benefit the children.
Yes, indeed, for the kids. Yes, indeed, for the future generation. That is the evolution of everything that is animal. Even plants to some degree. Their habitat that they choose. Something that is conducive to surviving. Something that is more likely to ensure their survival. The male and the female parents of the offspring is a very good example to ensure the survival of the next generation. The urges that we have to come together with the opposite sex is to ensure the continuation of the gene pool, of your genetics. That is why we do it, which is why when many people become older, they don't care so much for sexual activities. They don't care so much for bonding, because that time frame, that window for breeding, for reproducing is closing, or it has closed. Therefore, they do not care as much for such things. See, once we start bringing back purpose, for those of you who believe in God, once you bring the divine, you understand things are created for a purpose, right? And if you look at the holy texts or other holy texts, you will see that things have purpose. But as they took God away from Western society, slowly but surely try to push God out of Western society, we at least could fall back on those who simply believe in science. And we believe that things evolved for such a reason. But then as they try to tell us it's all random mutation, adaptation, natural selection, these three main categories or subcategories of evolution, they start to take away purpose. Things were just random mutation, random natural selection, even though the word selection seems to imply something more precise, but they want us to believe it is more broad. So purpose have left the building. But today we're going to try to bring that back with a little bit of the divine talk and nature talk, very lightly, nothing deep, in order to bring people, especially my red pill brothers, to understand the purpose of the sexes for interacting with each other. Why do they do what they do? Why did I make my video Women Are Loyal for 2 reasons? And one of them was that women do not always have options. What is it that the female seeks? What is it that the male seeks? What gives them such options? Let's look at the male. The male and what the female generally seeks from the male, the broad category, right, is to provide and to protect. To provide, to make available, for use, supply. All right? To make available. Is it food? Is it protection? Now, protection is also something that is provided. You see that? And it to keep safe from harm or injury. To guard, to safeguard. The female seeks those things as she evolved that way. When she is pregnant, when she's on her menstrual cycle, when she is too emotional, and she seeks the guidance of the male. Which is why women don't like weak males or men who appear weak. Women will follow a man with a bad purpose before they follow a man without a purpose at all. Let me say that one more time. Women will follow a man with a bad purpose rather than follow a man who doesn't have a purpose at all. Hence why many women mess with the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Now, a lot of guys will tell me, man, you making excuses for them. These are men that are still in the red pill rage. These are men, some of our brothers who are still evolving and properly understanding the red pill, hopefully soon, so that they can eventually see what's going on and understand how the female nature does not work well in Western civilization. Because Western philosophy and Western influence and Western ideology when it comes to relationships is what's causing this problem, because it disables the man's capability to direct and guide and lead to his full potential, the female nature, which can be destructive if it is not guided. Hence, leaving the female nature to itself completely, which causes it to go out of control and cause the problem that we have today, as she breaks the family and she destroys the home, which in a general sense destroy the divine blueprint. It destroys what God intended, right? And at the same time, if you believe in evolution, it weakens the possibility of properly transferring over the new generation into the future, because the kids may be psychologically harmed because of her raising these kids by herself, because of her damages herself that she's passing along to the kids, because of her own hurt, because she is mad at herself for making a bad decision and probably leaving this man. And as a result, she is passing that along to her children, this anger and this frustration. See, the woman seeks provision and protection in a very broad sense from men. Now, if you take the female, you see that the man seeks reproduction and replication, to nurture and to submission. Reproduction and replication, the male tends to want to reproduce himself, to replicate himself. That is what the man seeks from a woman, which is why men tend to like women who are fertile. Men like younger women, women who still look like they have just blossomed or they are about to blossom. All right, I'm not talking about no pedophile-ish right here. Keep your minds clean. And for those of you who have weird thoughts, we're talking legal age here, right? Legal age, but we're still talking about, all right, young women. See, a lot of women will shame you when older men marry and deal with younger women. And I'm talking about women of legal age, right? 18 and above. And many of these women who are already like in their late 30s and early 40s, and for a woman that is old, right? Most women are old by the time they're 28 and they don't realize their prime, right? And for a man, that's different. Men hit their prime in their late 20s, early 30s. But for a woman, it's very different. And they'll try to shame you into picking them, you know, because they're ran through, they're beat up, they have ovarian cysts and fibroids and many issues, right? These women are not the top quality women anymore, because what the man seeks in her, which is reproduction and the chance to replicate himself, to make a copy of something or self, right? She's not lacking. The other thing that men seek from that woman is to nurture and submit. A woman who does not submit cannot nurture. All right? To nurture someone is to put yourself in the position of servitude. And to serve that man's child and the child itself, which is the man's legacy, is to put yourself in a submission. To be under his mission. To follow and push and help support that man's mission. Right? A man is looking for a woman who can nurture. If you guys realize something, most women who will not submit to a man make horrible single mothers, right? Because the idea of single mothers, period, is basically a bad idea. It's kind of around the word horrible, and I'm being nice here, right? A woman who does not submit to the man will not nurture her children well. And they could come in the comment section and get mad all they want to. These women I ignore anyway, because why? They show me they're not submissive because, number one, they have ignored the first warning sign in the beginning of my video. For men only. And if you are not part of that demographic, you are not allowed to complain. You have forfeit and wavered your rights to complain. And they're here yet still whining and complaining because we are spilling the beans here. I am telling my brothers the truth, and I'm opening your eyes. See, the man seeks a woman who can nurture his reproduction and his replication, the copy of self, right? And a woman who is submissive enough to take those rules and those orders that he give and that mission that he give, so she can be in submission to his mission. All right, to nurture, to take care for, and encourage, to submit growth and development, right? So all of those things are in there to give way, all right, for her to submit, to yield to you, the masculine, all right? Now that is what the man seeks in the female. Those are the female attributes. Now we're going to understand the options, all right? Now, I do apologize because I'm trying to make the video as quickly as possible, but when a brother is teaching, it is kind of difficult to make a 10-minute video, right? So I'm trying my best. What we have here is a psychological gender swap, right? Where the male has become the female and the female has become the male. And it goes beyond this, because this is why men don't understand that women don't always have options. Even red pill men, right? Because we are looking at the basic things that I just described, and we are assuming, for example, we think the woman is us and she think that we are them. See, women expect you to submit, right? And men think that a woman is fulfilled, that a woman has all her options because she is constantly offered sex, right? Because men think that if they are constantly offered sex by multiple women, that it is a plus. Of course, naturally, we seek to replicate ourselves. And the way we replicate ourselves is to have sexual intercourse. So the more chances we have at sexual intercourse, even if we are wearing a condom and we do not intend to get a woman pregnant in the system, right? We still subconsciously telling ourselves we are giving ourselves the chance to replicate ourselves. So we're feeling somehow fulfilled. It is a pseudo feeling, a fake feeling that we are fulfilling our duty as a creature which is evolving, or as a creature which is divinely created, or a combination of both if you are a man of both the divine teachings, the metaphysics, or the spiritual, and a man of science and the studies of nature, right? So we thinking, since the woman always have a man in her face, we think that, oh, she has options. That's why she will always leave you, because she have options. Now, I'm not saying she won't always leave you. I'm not saying she won't leave you at all. What I am saying is that most women, once they pass the age of 25 and they start to approach 30, start to realize they don't have options. They start to realize that men talking to them, men trying to get in their pants is not really an option. It is just the man fulfilling his nature, his attempt to breed with as many women as possible. All right? She is starting to realize there is no value, right? The word value is important here because it regards to the options of both male and female. There is no value with men trying to spit game at her, with men trying to holler at her, with men trying to talk to her, trying to get her in bed. There is no value to it. All right? She is now realizing this. So no, she may not have a better option than you. Women do not always have options. Let's cut this down and get into it even deeper. If the female was to think exactly how some men think, that says that women always have options, women would look at whoredom around the world and they would say that women always have sex available for them, right? Since one of men's main goals in relationship is sex to replicate himself, they would say men have options. But how many of you guys feel that this woman right here is an option as a wife? Any of you guys want to take her seriously? How about this one here? Anybody see a wife in her? I mean, if women were to look at it, you have options. All these women would open their legs to you. The one that was twerking like she lost her mind and have no self-respect. The one that put her hands on her man. The one that cheats on her man. The one that puts him on child support. Options from the eyes of those who are untrained. Is she an option? I mentioned value. Value is important. Value is in money. Value is in minerals. Value is in people. Value is in religion, is in philosophy. Value is in this content, the knowledge you are obtaining. How now you can avoid the pitfalls, right? Because you know better. How you have a different perspective about this world. How you can see it a lot clearer, right? That is value. You add value to a person's life. Value is worth. A woman, when she starts to get a little bit older, is starting to realize, or even when she's younger, if she was brought up the right way by parents and good men in her life, she is realizing a Johnson is not an option. A penis is not an option. The Richard, right, is not an option. All it is the male trying to fulfill at least the illusion of replication. But she is not getting what she really wants, right? She's not getting provision from a strong man. She's not getting protection from a strong man. All she's getting is the Johnson. You see, women will deal with simps And many of you brothers who think women have options, you're thinking of simps, right? Women will deal with simps not because they like simps. Women hate simps. Women hate weak men. And simps are weak men. Women don't respect them, right? But they deal with them. Women deal with them the same way that a good man will deal with a whore. He scratches an itch. But for the woman, is not sexually, right? Unlike the male who deals with a whore in order to fulfill his sexual itch, the woman does not deal with a simp for the case of scratching her sexual itch. He scratches an itch that is a financial itch. Now you may saying, well, Mr. Limba, that covers the provision, right? No, I said she wants to be provided for by a strong man. That is who she's really wet for. If I have to be descriptive, that is who she is really attracted to. Any man who's just worshiping the floor she walks on, she may take stuff from him. She may take his money. She may let him take care of the kids that are not his. But that does not mean she wants to sleep with him. Those are the men who are stuck in relationships, providing, ready to jump into a fight for her as a mangina, as a white knight, ready to fight for her, right? Lose his life for her, right? Even though she started the commotion in the first place because she's unruly. But yet he's in a relationship without sex. She will not sleep with him. These are men who tell me stories that they go one whole year in a marriage without sex. Could you believe it, gentlemen? Could you believe it, my fellow warriors, my fellow red pill kings? Can you truly believe this? Women don't like these simps. They are just there to scratch an itch, and she shall discard of them because they were never options. As a straight man, a tranny may provide himself, now calling himself herself, as an option to you. But that's not an option. Someone looking from the outside who is bi may go, oh man, these guys have so much option. But a dude pretending to be a woman is not an option. You understand? Sleeping with the sheep is not an option. Messing with your cousin is not an option. Just because things are presented as such does not mean they are options. Women don't like the majority of men who talk to them. That is not an option. The majority of men who scoop them up and put a ring on their finger are nothing more than a 401k. They are a retirement plan. They are a source of getting money and then leaving him and go deal with the guy who will never commit to her because that's the one she wants. The red pill alphas, like some of you brothers who are listening, it's not that you're a bad man, she's just not worth it. But she wants you because you're the guy she really wants, that strong man. But you won't go into that. You're not stupid enough to go into that. So you won't give her the time of day. You may sleep with her. She may scratch your itch, which is sexual, usually for the man. For some men who have some pimp game, she may give him some money. For some men, you know, she might cook and clean and take care of things around the house, but he doesn't want her permanently because she have a horrible history or she's just a horrible female. A realtor would say location, location, location. But a man who deals with money would say value, value, value. Also, we may talk about inflation and depreciation. Also, devaluation of currency. You understand, the more you print money, if there's nothing of value, of substance to back up the currency that you're printing, it doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean you can just print as much as you want. It doesn't work that way. The money you're printing is worth less and less and less because you have to divide whatever is behind it as value more and more to support every bill that you actually print. And the less and less value that those bills actually have. You see, the more and more a woman starts to realize that penises are presenting themselves, she starts to realize the lack of value in those penises. You see, those penises either will not provide or protect. One of the two things that she seeks for in the male, as I covered before. And if they will protect or provide, she knows that this man is weak and she is probably the best he can do. And she doesn't like that. You see, a woman practices hypergamy right? Mainly because in her nature, she is to submit. One cannot submit to someone who is below you. So therefore, she seeks for someone who is above her. And by default, men will practice hypogamy, which I hope I pronounced that right, which is to marry lower than himself. You understand? Because for one to submit to you, they should be lower than you, which is why some men are not comfortable when the woman is making a huge amount of money, which is way past what he makes. This is just evolution manifesting itself in modern society. Let's get these teachings and these understandings so we don't get ourselves played, ourselves hurt, or sitting in red pill rage while calling ourselves red pill. Women don't like these simps, man. Simps are hated by women. I've had women who wrote me, right, that follows my channel, many of them, not just one, telling me that they hate simps too. Women hate simps. And the thing is, I don't know what to tell them because they want to know how could they get rid of simps, but simps are like cockroaches. They're really hard to get rid of. Because simps don't care how you treat them, what you do to them, they will always be around. Just because something presents itself as an option does not mean it is. Women always have men in their faces the minute they start hitting puberty. The minute, a nipple start to show, you have a bunch of men just hanging around them drooling. And yet, women never like men who drool over them like that. Women may get the attention, but they rarely will give them the play. Why? Because naturally, women do not like weak men. That is a symbol of weak men. Men with options, men with many women, don't drool over women like that. You understand? Their thirst is not real because their thirst is always getting quenched. There's always a chick available for them. These men don't simp like that. These men will not give up their wealth like that. These men will not pick a woman with 60 kids like that. Recently, a baby mama told me of 3 kids, and 2 baby daddies told me that a guy who's trying to holler at her, which takes care of another man's kids in another relationship that he was in, and he's still taking care of those kids even though they're not his, right? She said he is stupid. See, when you make a woman comfortable, they'll tell you the truth. If you can make them comfortable enough and not be judgmental, they'll spill the beans, right? That was once in a while when a woman drops a gem. That was a gem right there, right? Believe me, guys, those simps are not options. They're just scratching her itch temporarily until she leaves him. That's all that is. Maybe he's just fulfilling her wedding dreams. He's the only guy who's going to give her a wedding, so he gave her a wedding. She enjoyed it. She showed off the ring on Facebook, right? She got his money, whatever. He's her 401k. He take care of those kids. Meanwhile, she's cheating on the side and barely having sex with him in the house until she leaves him. Simps are not options, brothers. Women don't always have options because the guys they want, by the time they realize they want those guys, those men are like men like us. We don't really want them, or we just don't want them, period. Right? Because they ran through, beat up, used up, have attitude, baggage, mental imprints, all kinds of issues. These women don't have the guys they really want. They don't always have a better option than you, my brother. Give yourself some more value than that. You're an exceptional man. That's why you vibe with me. Because you work hard. You do what you got to do. You are a special guy, man. Start getting that through your head. You're one of a kind, my brother. She may not have a better option than you. As I wrap this up, final thoughts. Just like you don't always have options, the female also does not always have options. The reason I go into all this detail as a Red Pill channel, the reason I don't just give you a rant or tell you things that you always hear is because I want to take you to the next level. We got to get wiser, smarter. We got to build ourselves. We can't just complain about women. Complaining is okay because if there's a problem and you don't complain, you're just stupid, right? But if all you do is complain and you don't learn, you don't build yourself, you don't get any better, you don't get any wiser. Wisdom, my brothers, not just knowledge, not just intellect. Wisdom is important. And I'm here to share that with you. I'm here to build with you, right? I keep telling you, brothers, if you don't have a brother, you have one now. If you have one, now you have two. If you have two, now you have three, and so on. Because I am truly your brother. I want you guys to be so wise. I want your eyes so wide open that when somebody tell you some blue pill stuff, man, you just sit there and smile. You have a smirk on your face, and they have no idea why. That's right. That is right. My brothers, women don't always have options. They don't. Alright? Because what they really want, they're not getting it. And that's even when they finally realize what they really want. Because most of them learn what they really want way too late. And by that time, what they really want is out of reach. What they really want is impossible. You see what I'm saying? And you see, these women can't go abroad like some of you brothers talking about going to different countries and probably dealing with better women. Because foreign men don't want Americanized or westernized women because there are headaches. These men may deal with them for the sake of a visa, but then get the heck away from them. You understand? Meanwhile, foreign women may want more Americanized or westernized men because we tend to be more lenient, and I warn brothers not to be too lenient with them because you run the risk of turning them into the very women you ran away from, right? These women don't even have options to go abroad like you do. And you seriously think women have that many options? Women have the options of getting smashed and left. Women have the option of dudes just trying to get to in their pants and leaving them. But they don't have the real option of a relationship with a man that they really want to provide, build with them, and procreate with them. They don't have those options like that. They may get stuck with a child. They may get a simp to take care of them that they don't really want to be with, right? They could get all that. But options? You make it seem like they just have an abundance of things to choose from. No, they don't. It's even like that when it comes to dudes trying to talk to them. The dude that they really want to go up to him and talk to him, don't go up to him. It's the dude that they don't want in their faces that goes up and talk to him most of the time. But as a man, you can just pick the chick you want and talk to her. Because most men initiate, most women don't. Stop selling yourself short, brothers. You have more powers than you think. You have more power than you think. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications. PayPal me if you like. Share. Like the video. Email me if you have anything you want to talk about. I am your brother. Don't be shy. We're stronger than blood in this brotherhood. For those of you who asked for the Patreon, I have it up and ready. Videos will be dropping soon. It is only $3 a month. I did say I would make it as affordable as possible, so you won't even feel it. That boils down to 10 cents a day. That is right. That is patreon.com/Mr. Limba channel. All stuck together. The links will be pinned to the top of the comment section and in the description area. Until next time, stay red pill, stay strong, and you know your brother got your back, right? Peace out.